Now, the government of Malaysia is releasing a report today on the disappearance of the MH370 flight, which vanished 4 years ago. The Malaysian Airlines plane vanished whilst heading to Kuala Lumpur in March 2014. Teams from Malaysia, China and Australia joined multiple searches in the Indian Ocean, covering hundreds of thousands of square miles. The only confirmed traces of the aircraft have been 3 wing fragments. And joining us live now from the UK is David Gleave, an air crash investigator. Thank you for joining us this morning on the program. David, do you think the release of this report will bring us any of the answers that we've been waiting for?
I think this report is merely the Malaysian authorities doing what they have to do under international regulations and producing a final report when they've stopped work on it. I don't think it will answer any of the basic questions as to where the aeroplane is or why the aeroplane crashed in the first place.
Why is that so hard to figure out? I mean, what is the crux of the matter here?
The crux of the matter is trying to find where the aircraft is. I think we can find the aircraft, but that's a question of time and money. But it's also a question of we have some evidence, but it's not enough at the moment to satisfy all of the lawyers around the world in terms of working for all the different parties. So whilst there may be some evidence, it's circumstantial rather than conclusive.
So it's not a question of technology. You're really saying it's just a matter of time and money. So the technology is fine. We can actually find that aircraft if
Yes.
we have the time and money.
And at the moment, it's winter in the southern Indian Ocean. It's very difficult to get people actually on boats out in that area of the world for several months at a time. So they tend to suspend the search whilst it's difficult for about 4 months over the winter period. And that's right at this moment in time. They need a holiday and a break and refit the ships and things like that. So if somebody comes up with some money, they can send the ships back out again and they'll go and search in some more areas. But the first reports that came out some time ago concluded that somebody was actually flying the aeroplane at the time of the accident. The aeroplane was under some form of human control.
Right. And what about, the families have been waiting for answers. They're going to be wanting to hear from this report. Where does the whole investigation go from here?
I think the Malaysians are stopping on the basis that the aircraft has not been found. There may be a little more modelling to do with oceanic waves if they find some more parts. But after that, I think it's then a question of continuing to search the seabed, taking a psychological model if somebody was flying the aeroplane and saying, well, they're more likely to have flown it here than there in order to hide the aeroplane. There's a lot of things that can be done, but as I say, it's more a question of time and money for the search. The technology is there to recover the aircraft if they find it on the seabed. And then once we have the parts, we can start to come to some form of conclusion as to why the aircraft ended up there in the first place.